members of the 161. Happy Wednesday night. What is going on? Hope you're all doing well. Hope you're all having a great week and happy holidays to everybody. I do have a guest here, Mike Maz, we're trading to have on. I'm hearing quite a bit of stuff pertaining to one particular player. And we want to go over it a little bit, and I want to see what everybody's thoughts are on the moves that have happened this week so far in Yankee land and non-Yankee land. Mike, what's happening, dude? Welcome to the stream.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Not a whole lot. I've heard some of the similar rumors from what you've sent me, and also looking myself. I heard something interesting earlier, about 2 hours ago. Howard Stern had said, I don't know if you know who Howard Stern is.
That's Stern, so I can't be Howard Stern.
Now, I don't know how much teeth this has. This is all like speculation, remember? So
yeah,
if it is true, and I believe it has enough teeth to keep going, but I do believe that he will be a Yankee, and I've said this even since the Rodon sweepstakes. But I think that something's going to get done where Reynolds is in the Bronx next year.
Yeah, by the way, we're talking about Brian Reynolds, everybody. And before we do that, let me roll call this really quickly, see who's on here. We got Texas Buckeyes in the house. Welcome on. You guys got in early. All right. Aiden's here. Anthony Lapari. Who else do we have here? We've got DT 2024. Who else? Let's see. What's up, everybody? Shout out to everybody in the chat, obviously, in the live stream. I hope you're all doing well. Let's see. Go scrolling down here, see if anybody else in. I saw Andrea here. Hello, Andrea. How are you? Marcel's in the house. What is good? And happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah. Whatever you celebrate, happy and merry for all of you. Balling with AC's in the house. Mets fans is in the house. Mets fans is probably happy. Backstage Baseball is here. What's up, Hillel? Let's see. Julio Espinosa's in the house. We got a lot of crew here. Donovan Burrell, D-Rod in the house. Tyler. Man, love it, man. Love the turnout. Jason Long. Man, love it. He's in the house. That brother Bill. Love it. Love it. So what we were talking about is we're hearing some speculation. And for those that follow John Boy and Talking Yanks and all this stuff, they put out something earlier that it sounds as they heard from somebody on the inside that Brian Reynolds is close to coming to the Yankees. So, but take it with a grain of salt. I'll believe it when I see it. I don't find them, they don't report stuff. I rather have Passan or Jack Curry or somebody like that actually reports the Yankees to put something like that out. So take it with a grain of salt again. I'm not finding John Boyd. It could be speculation for all we know. It could be them just trying to rile people up and get views. So we don't know yet. But I think Mike and I are of the opinion that Brian Reynolds is probably the most likely guy to come here. And he's the best fit, clearly. And by the way, Texas Buckeye, thanks so much, man. I appreciate that, brother. Blessings for all of you, too. And by the way,
you too, Texas.
That are on, I'll mention it later. The live stream, I forgot. We were going to do live stream on Saturday night, but that's Christmas Eve. Okay? I think a lot of us would be in trouble. My wife would kill me if I did a live stream on Christmas Eve.
My wife would, too.
Yeah, so we're going to move it. If as long as people are cool and can still make it, we're going to do Friday night instead, the 23rd. So Christmas Eve is cutting it close. And I want us to live through the New Year. So I want our spouses
I appreciate that.
My wife pointed it out to me. I totally forgot. So that's on me. So any members who want to join the members only live stream would be on Friday night at 9:30 instead of Saturday night. So I will be putting out the members only. See, this is Lorenzo. Where are you hearing this? You're hearing that the Yankees are close to Brian Reynolds? Because we heard the same thing. It's from Talking Yankees. That's John Boy on Twitter. And we're hearing it from other folks. It's just on Twitter here right now. So
where I heard it was on Yanks Go Yard.
Yanks Go Yard. So,
but I don't know where you're hearing it, Lorenzo. But if that is true, that's going to be massive. That's not just going to be some small trade. That's going to be massive for two reasons. One, that fills up our left field hole. And two, that makes the Yankees, that shows that the Yankees are for real, and it upgrades the team tenfold. And we look 10 times better than we did last year with what we had.
Yeah. And he can fill the spot of left field. He can fill the spot of leadoff hitter. You can lead him off and put DJ at second, batting second, and Judge third. Now that we know, they confirmed that DJ does not need surgery, meaning he'll be healthy, and it makes it more likely that they'll probably trade Gleyber Torres now. So, and for those that haven't heard, the Yankees made 2 roster moves today. Tomorrow is the Carlos Rodon press conference. It's at 10 a.m. Eastern time. So if you have MLB TV, MLB Network, or Yes TV, Yes Network, it's going to be on there. So if you want to watch it or record it, it's going to be on. They had to make a roster move to make room for Carlos Rodon. So they DFA'd Junior Fernandez, who they picked up on waivers a couple weeks ago. So, but he's got a big arm. I fully expect him to be up here at some point this year. So he's just going to play in AAA. But they had to make a roster move. That's just standard procedure. And then to make room for Tommy Kahnle, the Yankees DFA'd Lucas Licky this evening. Mm-hmm. So that was a little bit more surprising to me. I thought they would DFA somebody like Albert Abreu. But that tells me that, and Hal Steinbrenner said this too, that they're looking for more relief help. That tells me they're probably going to go on the left-handers because they only have one lefty reliever now, that they're going to go after a lefty. To me, we've said this before, Mike, to me, Andrew Chafin in free agency or Gregory Soto in trade are the two most logical. Likely and logical guys for the left-handed side. So what are your thoughts, folks? Load up the comments here. Let us know what you think of that. But I do think they're going to replace him with a lefty reliever. I don't believe Liam Hendricks thing. So.
Yeah. I just wanted to touch on something about that Brian Reynolds thing. The other thing that's most important that we all need to remember is he comes with 3 years of team control. So with whatever we give up, we're not giving up those guys for a rental. We're giving up that for 3 years of team control, which pretty much gives us time to extend Reynolds, which I can almost guarantee Hal's going to do. He's not going to give up, a boatload of prospects for a guy for 3 years and let him walk.
True.
And after the way he spent this offseason, he's kind of given us as Yankee fans more hope, if you want to call it that.
Yeah, and he did say today in the press conference, we are not done yet. And he specifically mentioned the bullpen and the lineup. So obviously an offensive piece, which we clearly need in left field. And again, we've talked about this, right? There's been folks that have been talking about Florial. Yep. The problem with Florial is he can't hit the major league level. So until he does that, he's not going to be a credible option for left field. The people have talked about Jurickson Profar. Okay, but does it move the needle enough? No. Or what's the other guy? Goodness, I forgot his name. It'll come to me. Left fielder from the Milwaukee Brewers, Ben Gamel. Does he move the needle enough? No. I mean, there's maybe of the Arizona outfielders, I think Dalton Varsho, he's more offensively advanced than the other guys. He moves the needle more than any of them. But again, our first choice is Brian Reynolds. And again, what happened? What was this? What disappeared in the playoffs? Not our pitching, our offense. We didn't have a table setter, right? Brian Reynolds could be a perfect leadoff hitter here, both sides of the plate. It doesn't really matter. And him and then DJ second, and then Judge third, and you kind of move on from there. That's a nice lineup. And again, this Conforto's an option too, but does he move there's no guarantee he's going to be healthy. I think he's coming off major shoulder surgery. So I'm not sure if they want to give him $10 or $12 million a year because maybe they will, but Brian Reynolds is the more logical option. And Varsho will probably cost a little bit more than Reynolds because he's got more years of control. Yes. So, but it sounds as if the Yankees are going to be getting one of these guys. So we don't know when, we don't know exactly who, but if Correa. Well, let me just answer this really quickly. If Correa actually passed the physical, Correa's going to play third base. They've already said they're going to try and trade Eduardo Escobar. So he's playing third base for the Mets, and Lindor is going to play short.
That's what I've heard.
Yep. So they're going to try and trade. They're trying to trade James McCann, the catcher. Now they brought in that other guy last week, Nomar Narvaez, and now they're going to trade Escobar. But he's got to pass his physical. If he fails his physical again, they could void his contract. So, but this was the heist of the century too. If Cohen must have been at the right time, and as soon as he saw he failed his physical, and which made the contract voidable. And just so folks know, the Giants doctors found something in his back, a repeated back issue, which is why he failed the physical. So, and they didn't want to commit any further. So that was the red flag that caused the fail of the physical. So maybe Cohen's got some secret doctors who are not going to find something in his back, and he'll pass the physical. So
you never know.
You never know.
I've been saying this from the beginning, even since, like I said earlier, with the Rodon sweepstakes, that after Rodon, that big move that everyone was talking about was going to be Reynolds.
Yeah.
And I said that from the beginning. You and I have been talking about it because Reynolds just seems too perfect of a fit just because the Yankees have been linked for years now to him, and they've been connected in some way to him. So it just makes too much sense.
Yep. Yep. I mean, it's the most logical. He's the best fit out of all the people that are out there. There's nobody in free agency that represents him, right? So,
He's a switch hitter.
which so surprised. Yeah, I was surprised at Lucas Licky moving on too. Backstage, hello, what's up, dude? And he does.
What's up?
Just to answer Sean, the other person Harrison Bader does hit better than a number 8 hitter. So I wouldn't be surprised if they let off Harrison Bader either. They could and put Brian Reynolds second. Like they could. It gives them options. So, but we'll see. You could put Harrison Bader 6th or 5th too, right? You could put him right 6th, right after Stanton if you want. So there's options here.
You could even have him hit.
Go ahead.
You could even have him hit 9th if you need to have that, speed on the base paths. I mean, if you're so inclined to.
Yes, you're good. And guys, Backstage Baseball just hit 1,000. You just got to channel monetize. So round of applause for Backstage. Well, we're working on trying to get Ford Train Express there too. So if you guys haven't subscribed to these guys' channels, please show your support by subscribing. But that's the only thing that you really need to do to support the channel. That's greatly appreciated. So especially if you enjoy the content. That's all that's really we ever ask for. So, but I appreciate it. These guys are members of the 161, so long-time members. So, Hillel, if you're around, you want to hop on, feel free to hop on, dude. You know how to get in. But I mean, Angel, what's up, dude? Angel's giving us a shout out. Anthony's in the house.
What's up, Angel?
Yeah, man. So here we go. We got some lineup control. What do we got here? Reynolds leading off. Judge second, Rizzo third. Same thing, Glaber. Why would you put, just out of curiosity, why DJ sixth? And I'm curious.
Interesting.
Yeah, he's the best contact hitter on the team. I would personally, I get it. And Judge was second in leadoff because of the lack of options last year. But
personally, I'd have DJ hit second.
Yeah, I would too. I would have Judge third. He's the best. That's the primo hitting spot, and Judge is the primo hitting guy right now. And then Rizzo fourth, Stanton fifth. But if Glaber's still here, then 6th or 7th, or Bader. I'd probably bet Bader a little bit before Glaber. I mean, this you have options here. Yeah. You have options here, but I get what you're saying, Bryce. I totally do.
Now, the other thing we had talked about was a Reynolds Bednar trade to the Yankees.
Yep. Reynolds Bednar, which would be a much more significant trade. John Heyman and Donovan Burrell. What are you telling us here, Donovan? We're trying to look back and see if I see anything from Donovan Burrell. You hearing something from us from John Heyman? What are you hearing? Well, back to this too. Reynolds and Bednar will be a much bigger trade. That would be a huge trade.
It's going to cost you a pretty penny, but it's worth it. At this point, you can give them like 4 or 5 pitching prospects, and then you can, even if you wanted to, and I don't want to give them up, but you could offer them Lucas Licky and Albert Abreu if you wanted, because in that way you can get a better reliever in the sense of you have a guy who can close, and there's your closer right there.
Yeah.
You've got to. The Yankees have the best possible hand right now because they have many different options on the way they can go. They can either say, hey, we want a Reynolds and Bednar trade done, or we just want Reynolds, or we just want Bednar. Yeah. They can play it because they have the hand to do so.
Yeah, they do. Again, they're going to have to give up more, yes. Just expect one of the top 3 prospects to go on any Reynolds trade.
Dominguez would be the choice for me.
Yeah, I would love to see Peraza stay here and be the starting shortstop. But Don, we're still waiting to let us know what you're hearing from John Heyman. But Texas Buckeye mentioned, what do we do at IKF? Personally, at this point, I think unless Josh Donaldson's moved, he's going to be the third baseman. And you'll see Peraza short if he doesn't get moved. And then IKF would be one of the bench players, but a utility guy. And then we'd have Oswaldo Cabrera as a super utility.
Yep.
And then 2 other players on the bench would be the backup catcher. Right, and someone else. So that's how the bench would look at.
Here's an interesting an interesting idea that I just thought of. Trade for Reynolds, and then trade Torres to Chicago for Bummer.
I mean, if you could do that, I'd be all over. We talked about Bummer too. He's got he's got team. Well, he's got team options for 2025 and 2026. So he essentially on the cheap too. He won't be a free agent in 2027. So you got 4 years of control with Bummer. So I love
potentially up to a fifth if you decide to keep him for those extra 2 options.
Yeah, exactly. So you have a lot of years on him. And again, you got Gregory Soto, I think, has 3 years of control.
Something like that.
So, and Torres has 2. And again, a pitcher with 3 years of control that doesn't play every day is different than an everyday player with 2 years of control. So in this case, Torres to me holds a little bit more value than Gregory Soto does. So
the guy that I wanted though was Andres Munoz, and we had mentioned him quite a bit. That would have been the guy I would have gone for. I mean, I might even still try to go after him just to see if I can prime from Seattle.
Right, it's worth a look. Yeah, if anybody hadn't smashed that like button, please do. Let's try to get the 200 likes as quickly as we can, gang, if you don't mind. O'Neal Cruz injured his ankle in winter ball. Interesting. I still think he'll be.
So maybe throw a Torres in that deal to get Bednar as well.
Torres can be in there, yeah. I mean, he should be. I mean, and they're gonna have to eat a little bit of Torres' prospects, I think, because he makes more than Brian Reynolds does in arbitration. Yeah. Let's see. What else we got? Oh, Montez Shamsi, welcome, man. We all want upgrades to left field. I want Brantley, but that ship is sailed. Well, we can't we upgrade a backup catcher? We used to have stud backups during Joe Torre. I need another bullpen arm as well. We definitely need a bullpen arm, no doubt about that. And I think that's going to happen, Montez. Backup catcher, I mean, they have been work, but I think they're going to try and make that work. But the options for backup catcher are dwindling too. But there's a couple of guys, but like I would have loved Christian Vasquez, but he's with the Twins. Some other guys. So I mean, we don't know. I mean, I think.
What about getting? No, I don't think. No, the Mets wouldn't do that. I was going to say trade James McCann to us, but they won't do that.
No, I mean you do have Tucker Barnes. Is it Tucker Barnes? I think he might be available. But I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I think they're going to try and make vet work.
Yeah.
Because he's an expert pitch framer, just like Trevino is, and he has a little bit of a better bat. And he hits power from the left-handed side. But I know there's been issues with him staying healthy. So so that's going to be one. I mean, that's going to be. I don't know what they're going to do there. Honestly, I really don't. What do you guys?
I still want to know about this whole Reynolds thing because now that's kind of starting to pick traction up a little bit. Yeah. I kind of want to see what they're going to do with that, see how that plays out.
Yeah, me too. J.P. McCoy, Dominguez, Peraza, Hill, Carrera, Hicks, and Torres for Reynolds and Bednar. Maybe.
I mean, I might ask for one of their prospects in return if I'm giving them both Dominguez and Peraza and Torres.
Yeah.
Maybe a lower level prospect, but.
Yeah. Yeah, and then let's see what we got here. Nick Met's current payroll $386 million. Yeah, and with the Steve Cohen tax, they're paying almost $500 million in payroll and penalties.
Jesus,
almost $100 million in penalties. So
my God,
it's absolute insanity. But I mean, I'll give it to him. This guy means business. But again, the Mets fans used to accuse the Yankees of buying championships, right? Well, that's exactly what they're doing. So
just to put this out there, if and when Correa passes his physical, the Mets would have spent $806.1 million this offseason alone.
Yeah, almost $1 billion. And keep in mind, folks, all this stuff does not guarantee them a World Series. Paper is they're better on paper, no doubt about it. So, but it doesn't guarantee them a World Series. So, I mean, makes the outlook nice, but nothing's guaranteed. They got to stay healthy and they have to perform. They shit the bed last year in the playoffs. So this year against the Padres, and they were heavily favored to win everything. So,
come to think about it, it almost made too much sense for the Mets to not sign Correa when the Giants turned them loose.
And from perspective to add to that, the Giants lost Judge, Correa, and Rodon.
And Turner.
And Trey Turner, too. Yep. So, who did they bring in? I think they got in the one guy from Seattle. That's about it. You got
Nichaniger.
Nichaniger and Sean Manaea. Another pitcher.
Yeah, they got Tromanea.
We got another starter, too. I forgot who. Forgot his name. They added another starter. So they have work to do, too.
Yeah.
That's a punch in the gut, man. But the Yankees are still a little bit behind the Astros. Ryan Reynolds will help close that gap significantly.
But I will say this: the two moves the Yankees made by re-signing Judge and getting Carlos Rodon really closed that gap quite a bit from what it was last year or this year.
Yeah,
because
they lost Verlander too, so
yeah,
they're trusting that. And they did lose out on some big targets. They lost out on Benintendi.
yes, they did.
They lost out on Wilson Contreras. Rizzo. So
because they were trying to get Rizzo away from the Yankees, but the Yankees said, nope, we're going to re-sign Rizzo.
Yep. And they had to, who did they bring in? They brought in Jose Abreu. Okay.
Yep.
But they didn't get Benintendi. They didn't get their big guy. So they brought back Brantley. So
3 Yankee killers are now out of the AL. Correa.
Yep.
What's his name? Bogarts. And Verlander.
Yep.
That's all right. 3 are out of the AL.
They only have to face them now in interleague play or in the World Series.
Yep.
Oh, and
whichever.
Yep. Well, Ross Stripling, that's right, of the Blue Jays. He's the other starter that the Giants got. Good job, Bryce. Thank you for that. We're close. The Yankees are close. They haven't closed the gap all the way to the Astros yet. So Brian
but a Brian Reynolds trade would be icing on the cake. And you want to know something? If the Yankees get Brian Reynolds, and when they do, whenever that happens, if this has teeth, which I believe it does, this could be a very successful offseason for them.
Yeah, it'll be a huge offseason for the Yankees.
They would have gotten the left fielder they needed. They would have gotten the starter they needed, and they would have re-signed the guy that they had to.
Yep. It'll be I'd be very happy with the offseason, man.
Oh, yeah.
I really do. I really would. I just hope this this Reynolds thing becomes true. I really do.
I mean, like you said when you made the Carlos Correa video, anything can happen.
Yep.
Anything can happen.
Yep.
Things can happen like that, the snap of your fingers. They can happen overnight, and we wouldn't know about it until the next morning.
I was sleeping last night, and I woke up to Correa. It happened at 3 o'clock in the morning. So, that's how quick it happened. Steve Cohen was at the right place.
Same thing with Judge. Happened at what, 2, 3 in the morning?
Yeah, 2:30 in the morning. So it became official at 3. So, what's good, Joey Nelly? What's happening? Donovan Burrell. See, this theoretically would be nice, but I'm not sure. Well, I don't think the Red Sox would ever trade him to the Yankees.
No. They're more likely to trade him to a team like Seattle or St. Louis, more than likely.
And they're going to try, and whoever that team finds him is going to get the Hall. He's going to try to extend them. I'm not sure if he makes it to free agency, Devers. No. I'm not sure if the Red Sox are going to allow 2 of their best guys to walk in free agency 2 years in a row.
I mean, Red Sox fans are already calling for their GM's head as it is because they let Bogarts walk.
Yep. So this one's going to be Chaim Bloom better pull a miracle here, man. He better pull a miracle. I can't.
Donovan, what did you hear from John Heyman? I still want to know that.
I don't know. I was asking him too. I haven't seen anything about John Heyman. I mean, it could be a spoof too, for all we know.
It could be.
And let me pull up here and see. Let's see. Let me have a look here. Let's pull up 2 things. Let's pull MLB trade rumors. That's where a lot of this stuff comes. Okay?
There's nothing on the MLB trade rumors. I just checked it.
No. Let me pull up the Yankees thing here because there's people that tweet related to the Yankees show up on there too. I gave a shout out to the Yankees on Twitter. Yanks go yard. Breaking. Howard Stern claims the Yankees are close to a Brian Reynolds trade. Baba Booey thinks Jason Dominguez is not in the package. I don't know about that. I mean, I can't find that. Who's Baba Booey? Is he part of the Howard Stern show?
No, he's a. I'll tell you right now who he is. Baba.
Nothing by you.
He's an American radio producer.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you this. I mean, the reason, how I know, like, they think that Anthony Volpe is their guy. They passed on 8 All-Star shortstops. 8 of them.
Yep.
For Volpe. That shows us that Volpe is. To me, it shows me that Volpe is their guy.
Yep.
I mean, my God, that's crazy. The 4 last year and the 4 this year.
Yep.
It wasn't even a doubt. It wasn't even a doubt. Even though they offered Volpe for Juan Soto, but I get that it's Juan Soto. So, but thankfully the Nationals shot that down. They didn't like Volpe. So,
Yeah. Could you imagine though if we had Juan Soto and left and Judge and right?
it would be crazy. It would be
Huh?
freaking nuts. Yeah, it's nuts, man. You know, like, here we go. Baba Booey is definitely on the Howard Stern show. He said, but yeah, I mean, but again, I don't know about that. How credible are these guys in baseball? I can't, unless I hear from Jeff Passan or somebody like that. I don't find that stuff very credible. So, yeah, I mean, it's just a lot of speculation, a lot of stuff going on right now. Mets, yeah, the Mets have to stay healthy, so it's gonna be interesting. Yeah, Brian Daly, Yankees spent money when Rodon. Why not spend $15 million on Benny? Well, they didn't find him $15 million worthy.
Well,
So.
also he had that wrist injury, which I don't think helped his case out either.
The hamate bone. So for those of you who don't know, it's this thing that attaches from here. When you swing the bat, it's like you press right here, which is the hamate bone.
I mean, he got paid.
He got paid, yeah. He still made $75 million with the White Sox, and again, he's got to, Did he go to the White Sox? Are the White Sox going to be a contender anytime soon? I don't think so.
I doubt it.
So he went for the money, which is his right to do, just like it was everybody else's right to do. So
absolutely,
can't fault him for that, but I can't fault him for the Yankees for not giving him $15 million either. And again, if they get Brian Reynolds, nobody's going to care if he ain't even attending. No.
I mean, you got to really think though. If they get Brian Reynolds, right? They get Brian Reynolds. They've really solidified that outfield for the next.
Yeah.
Then all they got to worry about is extending Bader.
Yeah. Yeah. Bader's definitely worth extending. Wow.
And that ends that pretty much ends Hicks's tenure with the Yankees.
Yes, it does. He's going to be easier to move, I think, than
Donaldson.
But like I said this before, I think both those guys are going to be end of off-season guys when teams run out of players to target. I guess we have to consider Donaldson or Hicks because there's no one else to do it. And then my question is, how much do the Yankees give up? How much contract do they eat, and who do they give up prospect of?
I'd say for Donaldson, you'll probably have to eat at least half that contract.
Probably.
Hicks, you might have to eat a third of it because it's not as pricey as a Donaldson contract because Donaldson's making $25 million. So you'll have to eat maybe 12.5 of that.
Probably.
And then Hicks, you might have to eat 6.5 of his.
Maybe, or 5. Yeah. What is he making? $10 million a year?
Yep.
So if you eat 5 of them, I think they can probably get somebody to bite on that. But it would have to be the end of this offseason. And if they attach a decent prospect to it, it makes it.
I would say I could see Miami doing a deal with us for him. Because we almost did a deal with them last year for him.
Yeah, he was part of that deal, and then they asked for Oswald Peraza the last minute, and it fell apart.
Yep.
So, I mean, we got 70 cents. Hey, everybody, if you haven't hit that like button, please smash that like button if you don't mind. We want to try to get up to like 150 likes if we can. We got 222 people in here, so we want to make sure that the likes, hitting the likes is very helpful to the channel, by the way. So it's greatly appreciated. So thank you for that. Yeah, it's true, man. It's going to be really interesting to see what happens the next couple of. I think they're going to pitch to Judge, Aiden. I mean, it depends on who's around them too, right? If you put Reynolds at the top and you get DJ there, I mean, there's a higher chance of having guys on base. But then you have Judge and you have Rizzo behind him, so it's going to make it hard to pitch around guys like Judge and Rizzo because then you're not going to want to pitch.
Now that the shift is banned.
What's that? Yeah, the shift is banned too. it make it harder to pitch around guys.
Yep.
The more guys you have on base, the easier for them it's going to be to manufacture runs without the shift. So, that's the other thing.
It's going to be an exciting season, especially watching Rodon pitch with us this coming season. It's going to be, and he's going to give Cole that push that he needed.
Yeah.
He's gonna give Cole. He gives Cole that 1B, so he doesn't have to have all that pressure on him.
Yeah. Cole doesn't have to carry the rotation. Like, it's just now that Cole's gonna be nice. And Rodon and Severino and Nestor, like you have, or whether Nestor's second or Rodon's fourth, doesn't matter. Right, left is a nice dynamic now. Nice.
But Cole Rodon is the 1-2 I wanted, and what you wanted too.
Yeah.
We both mentioned this, but the Cole Rodon 1-2 is the way to go because that gives us probably one of the best, if not the best, pitching staff in the American League.
Bulldogs, man.
Yep.
Bulldogs.
Downstairs. That's exactly.
You get a lot of noise in your background there.
Yeah, that's why I muted it.
Gotcha.
But yeah, no, that's going to be the 1-2 that could really put us over the top.
Yeah, man. I mean, Angel. I don't think they're going to sign Evaldi. He's attached to a qualifying offer, and I don't think they're going to give up prospects for somebody who's going to come in here and be a number 5. I don't think they would do that.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't trade Montas so quickly. I wouldn't even think of Angel. I wouldn't even think of signing Evaldi. 1, he's got a QO. 2, his injury history.
Yeah.
3, we had him before, and he really wasn't all that great for us to begin with.
Yeah. It's just, at this point, I'd rather take my gamble with Montes. They gave up a lot for him.
Yeah.
So, and again, if he's healthy, and it sounds like he's going to be, that can make the difference. So, but I get the logic with Evaldi. He's got a big arm, and I mean, right there, like, trade for Lopez. And that's the other thing. I wouldn't trade for a guy who's going to be the number 5 either, most likely. It doesn't really need to. Yeah. You keep Montez, who's the number 5, and let somebody else go with Evaldi. He might go to the Marlins or something like that if they need another pitcher. But because if they trade Lopez, then it opens up a spot for a guy like Evaldi. So it's interesting.
What do you think of Hal at the press conference naming Judge the 16th captain?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was inevitable. Personally, I could care less whether he's captain or not, personally, but it's not. I don't think it's going to change anything. But he wanted to be there. The Yankees wanted to show that commitment to him, and it was a symbolic move. And I think it means a lot to him. And but I mean, I hope he stays healthy, and I hope he performs well, and I hope he is a great teammate. So, am I upset that he's a captain? No, not at all. But I wouldn't care less if he was captain or not. So he's back. I hope he performs the way we hope he does, and just makes his team better. So I was just happy to hear when they said they weren't done yet, Hal, and when he also said that they're looking to upgrade the bullpen and the lineup. So
which was great.
Yeah, being specific like that was really helpful. So
it shows the Yankee fans that we can hope again, and that there is some light at the end of this tunnel.
Yeah, true. Kevin Hunt just now getting on. What's up, dude? We're about to trade from. You're talking about Jake McCarthy from the Diamondbacks. We haven't mentioned him yet, but there's a couple guys in there. You have him. You have Alec Thomas, and then you have Dalton Varsho in Arizona, who's the most offensively advanced than the other guys. It's only going to cost a lot, but his bat is way further than theirs. And at this point, they need a difference maker, which is Brian Reynolds with the bat, or a guy like Dalton Varsho. They're probably the most logical trade candidates. And again, offense is the thing that failed them in the postseason. So that's where it's got to be. And again, is it going to be cheap? No. But doable? Yes. I mean, Dalton Varsho or Brian Reynolds, but we're hearing more speculation now that they're closer to Brian Reynolds being traded to them. So, but again, we got to take that with a grain of salt. We got to see.
That's the thing. It's if you want to get something, you got to give something. And yes, is it going to sting to get rid of some of these prospects? Absolutely. And no trade giving up prospects doesn't ever sting.
Yep.
But if it means giving up prospects for 3 years of team control for Brian Reynolds, I'm doing that all day. For a switch hitter who can transition a lot easier to the corner outfielder than a corner outfielder to center, absolutely, 100%, no doubt about it.
Yep. Yeah, Brian Daly is in agreement with us. Get Bednar from Pirates with Rain. Yeah, I mean that's the trade to make. It's going to cost Dominguez and a lot more. So we just have to we have to be okay with that. And both of them are going to by themselves. Bednar by himself is going to cost a lot.
Yeah.
So I mean that's the blockbuster to make if you can make one.
Yeah.
And who's tweeting?
Yeah.
Reynolds rumor. There's a lot of folks out there, but check out Talking Yanks. That's John Boy, who they claim to have people on the inside telling them. Go right to their Twitter. It's right on there. So,
But from from what you and I have discussed for weeks, years, it's always been Reynolds. Reynolds has been that guy.
we're talking about a year and a half.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been our guy. He's just
Yeah.
he's a perfect fit here.
Yep.
And again, whether you think he's a superstar or not, it doesn't matter. He's the perfect fit for what this team needs.
And from the way that Hal spoke, he really made it sound like that we weren't done. And I don't think we are done. I think we have a couple more moves left before we are actually completely done.
Hal never says that type of stuff. So, it's I mean, it's really interesting. But again, it just he's not telling us something that we don't know either. Like they can't be done. They have to make a move at left field if they want to. And when we talked about this too, like Hal's already spent almost $600 million. Finish the job. Get the left fielder that we need. Who's the fit? And
get the left fielder and get that bullpen piece. That's what we need.
Like
you do that.
Yep, exactly.
You do that. You make us a World Series contender, like Tyler Talbot said.
Exactly, TV. Yep. I mean, this is the trade to make. This is the blockbuster that they could, that they can make.
And that night that you and I were talking, that was the move I had mentioned that was bigger than Rodon himself.
Mm-hmm. It is bigger than Rodon. It is. I mean, what do we got here? Dalton Varsho, because he can add depth to the outfield behind. Yes, he could. He's the only player that I know that's a catcher and an outfielder. Trek reviewer. Yeah. So it's a good point, man. He could alternate with or give them a spot catcher, start or whatever. Like when Trevino needs a day or whatever it is. So he can do multiple things. We're having him in the outfield, and he's a good defender, just like Jake McCarthy. So the defense would be there. The bat would be there. So this is the time to get this thing done, man. Sounds like.
And I think we'll get something done. But like you said, we're linked a lot closer to Reynolds than we are Varsho and the Arizona guys, just because of who we're talking about. So that's why I said from the beginning, I'm going to say it again. Reynolds will be a Yankee. Now, whether or not we get Bednar as well, we might not. But if we don't, then I got a feeling we're going after Gregory Soto next.
Yeah, or Chafin, one of those guys.
Or Chafin.
They're logical fits, man. Now, Ryan who has a question here. Is he a decent base? Brian Reynolds, is he a decent base runner, a great base stealer? He gets some stolen bases, but look at his stats. He's a doubles hitting machine. Okay, and I'll pull him up here just to put it in perspective. And that, hitting a double as often as he hits, puts him in a position to score on a base hit on a regular basis. And this is why I want him to lead off. And my logic behind this is, let's just say he gets a walk or a single, right? And then DJ hits a double. He will score from first base. If it's the other way around, lead DJ off and he's on first, and Reynolds hits a double, DJ's not going to score because he can't really run. So his ability to score on a double from first base or a single from second base is one of the highest amongst all the players in the team. That base running acumen you need. But here you go. He's only been in the majors 4 years, but 37 doubles as a rookie. Okay, he had 6, but it's the COVID season, 2020. Then 35 doubles in 2021 and 19 doubles in 2022. And he missed about 20 games this year with an oblique injury. So doubles. And he also hit 8 triples in 2021, 4 triples, and he hits triples too. So, and his on-base percentage, 377, 390, 345. It's higher than most. Okay. He's got solid on-base percentage as well. So his OPS, which everybody obsesses about, his career OPS is 842. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good OPS. So, his base running ability is good. And again, he does all, and he's a solid defender in the outfield too.
Yeah.
And then when you're backed up by Harrison Bader, it doesn't get much better than that.
No, definitely doesn't.
So
he's an upgrade of Andrew Benintendi.
Yeah, oh, exactly. He's an upgrade. And Renee makes a good point to Yankees breast, but then they want to point. Well, now this is the point because their farm has never been deeper, at least in my lifetime. Um,
Yeah, I
Now's
agree
the
with
time
that.
to use some of these prospects because how many of them are going to play? Not many of them at the major league level. I mean, how long
Maybe
it took him to
two,
get
three.
Peraza and Oswaldo Cabrera up here? But before that, it was like pulling teeth. So now's the time to use some of these guys. I mean, wouldn't you agree, for trade?
Absolutely. I think that this is the time that you go all in and you start making those moves. You start getting the prospects on the block, like a Dominguez. I mean, he's not once, not twice, but three times already been, nailed for not hustling. So
It's true.
getting prospects like that out of your system for a guy that's a finished product of that prospect now
Yeah,
is key. And I told you this, but I think Dominguez is going to be a bust. I really
I
do. I don't.
I said
I
this.
don't want to wish anything bad upon a prospect, but his numbers aren't going to translate well to the major league level.
Yeah,
Because take a look at Florial. Look at Florial. He killed it in the minors. He came up here and couldn't adjust. He couldn't make the adjustments needed.
yeah. I worry about him more than I worry about Peraza, more than I worry about Volpe. I mean, I just do. I'm with you there, man. Does anyone but me see a problem with the owner having to pay more in tax penalties? Al Dohar said this than three teams have as a total payroll. I don't see. I see a bigger problem with the teams that aren't spending and pocketing the
Yeah.
profits. That's my biggest problem. Look at the 10 lowest payrolls. They're all billionaires. Why are they not spending on their team? Why are they not investing in their product instead of pocketing the profits? That the
And
tenth
just
lack penalty is there for these guys to pay. These guys that are willing to
yeah.
spend and eat, that's what the penalty's for, and they're paying it. And what I have a
And
bigger problem with not spending for players.
you're absolutely right. And you know what? The teams that do get all that tax money from guys like a Steve Cohn or Hal
Yep,
Steinbrenner that
yep,
don't spend should be penalized for it. They should lose that money.
yep. Luxury, yeah, revenue sharing. Yep, they shouldn't get any of it. They really shouldn't.
Yep.
So it's not fair. AZM Bourgeois, what's up, man? Excited for New York baseball. Yeah, they are looking good. I mean, there's nothing better than having both teams in New York really good, man. Appreciate the
Yep.
dono too. Um, Dude, you couldn't have said it better, AZM. Really. I mean,
And
what's up?
another thing just about
Diego?
that is, from what AZM was saying, the two best rotations of baseball lie within New York with the Mets, with Verlander, Scherzer, Kodai Senga. Who else do they have? They've got Carrasco and they've got what's his name? I'm drawing a blank. And then on the Yankee side, you've got Rodon, Cole, Cortez, Montaz, and Sevy. So you got the two best rotations lying within New York, and that's how it should be.
I'm on. No idea what happened. Sorry, no idea what happened. I'm on.
No problem. So what I was saying was you've got the two best rotations in New York lying within, or two best rotations in baseball lying within New York. You got the Mets with Verlander, Scherzer, Sengai, uh, what's his name, Quintana, and what's his name, Carrasco as the number five, and then you've got in on the Yankee side you've got Scherzer, or not Scherzer, you've got Cole, Rodon, Cortez, Severino, and Montas. So the two best rotations in baseball lie within New York.
Exactly, man. Seeing double. Sean Browning is seeing two of me. Is anybody else seeing two of me?
I
Can anybody
think
see?
that was. I think that's when you froze and then you got back on.
Yeah, it got booted. It got booted, and I went back on. But I hope nobody's seeing two of me. Barely hard to see. It's not fun to see one of me. Jeez. Any rumors about your NFT? Yeah, we missed it, man. This whole live stream has almost been about Brian Reynolds because there's been so much speculation that's heating up now about Brian Reynolds. We don't know how accurate it is. Sometimes this thing gets glitchy. So For those of you who haven't heard that are a member that want to join the live stream, it's going to be Friday night at 9:30 instead of Saturday because Saturday's Christmas Eve. So we want to be respectful of people's holidays and all that stuff. So if you want to join Friday, hop on. I've noticed too, I saw one thing with streaming, the capacity for people at the same time is 10. We can have 10 people on the live stream at once. So if you really want to get on, hop on early. And that way you can secure your spot. And when it hops off, you're welcome to, hop on. But there's,
Are you going to put a link for that?
Yeah, I'm gonna do a members only video tomorrow, and I'm gonna link it in the description in that video for that the members can access it right there. It will be Friday at 9:30 p.m. We are final one before Christmas, and then we'll probably get next week. It'll probably be Friday too because we're not gonna do a New Year's Eve, so probably do a Friday. So and so just as a heads up, folks. So if you do want to join, you're welcome to do it. What is this? John Heyman is reporting Uncle Rico is meeting with the Colts. Who's Uncle Rico?
Oh, from what movie is that? Napoleon Dynamite.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Anything on Yankees? That's not. I don't see it happening, Angel.
I don't see it happening. I think the Dodgers are going to save up to get him next year.
Yeah, that's going to be a Dodgers thing, man. They're going to pay probably.
The Dodgers are going to overpay for him. They'll land him.
He's going to make like $400 to $500 million. He's only going to be 27 or 28, so he's going to get paid. Morning Brew's in the house. What it do, baby? What is going on?
Morning Brew.
Hector, if you want to hop on, you're welcome to, brother. Hop right in, man. We're live. If you want to join in, man. We've been talking about Brian Reynolds. There's so much new speculation that's coming out today. That the Yankees were close to a trade. Close to a trade now, Brian Reynolds. So we're hearing it from John Boy. We're hearing it from some people. So you're welcome to join, brother. You're welcome to join.
Hey, Jason, I got to run.
All right, brother.
But thank you for having me on. We will talk tomorrow during the week. And
all right,
if I hear anything about this Ryan Reynolds stuff, I'll let you know.
Do me a favor and link your channel to the comments here so that people can check them out, man. You guys don't mind, check out 4 Train Express, another great Yankees channel. And if you enjoy the content, please subscribe to it, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, Carlos failed his Giants physical, Joel. Yup, and it made it possible for the Mets to jump in and sign him on a 12-year deal, which is crazy. Crazy. Hector's out and about, so found nice, dude. Enjoy, bro. Enjoy the city. Nice, man. Yeah. Yeah, bro.
Jason, I posted it in the in our comments so you can get it to the chat.
Got it. Private chat. All right, I got you.
All right, man.
All right, brother.
Have a good night, brother.
You too, man. Later, man. In the comments, this is the link. This is the link to 4 Train's channel if you want to check it out. Paste. There you go. 4 Train Express, another good Yankee channel. He has a lot of people on there for chats and stuff like that, man. So, Toby, we're hearing the same thing. Where are you hearing it from, Toby? We're hearing the same stuff from John Boy and some other folks, but none of it. I don't find any of it credible until Jeff Passan or Ken Rosenthal or Buster Olney or Jack Curry, who was one of the more credible Yankees people, put this thing out. Who are you hearing it from, though? I want to know, Toby. Are you hearing it from the same people? Because it's kind of blowing up the Twitter sphere now. So Giants, Tyler, the Giants lost out on Correa, Rodon, and Judge. That is brutal. Brutal. I just got a little bit of head cold, Anthony. It's my daughters get sick from school, and they cough all over me. So it's getting there, though, Anthony. I feel better than I did today. I'm just nasally, but I appreciate you asking, man. What else we got here? The stove is heating, dude. It's. I would agree, Bryce, and all is quiet in Yankee land right now. So, Reynolds would be phenomenal. Would be phenomenal. He really would. And for those that haven't heard, the Carlos Rodon press conference is going to be tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. So if you have MLB Network or S Network, it's going to be on this channel. So if you want to watch it or record it or whatever. So Boomer and Carson and John Boy. Yeah, it's just how credible are these guys, Tyler? How credible? Because they said Yeah, I do realize that, but I don't find them credible. You said people on the inside saying it's close, and they're singing a song. They're not my source of information or facts. So at least not for me, Big Sexy. But I get what you're saying. I would love a Subway World Series. Yeah, I would, BJ, if it happens, man. Hell yeah. I mean, I would. Well, a trade for Brian Reynolds could happen in the middle of the night. That would be awesome. Like the Carlos Correa signing happened overnight too. So that would be that'd be kind of awesome. I mean, it really would. Yeah, I do that. I do that, Anthony. But a 2-year-old is just learning that type of stuff. So, all right, we got 116 likes. Let's try to get to 200, gang, if you don't mind. If anybody hasn't hit the like button, please smash it quickly. Judge blocked John by him. If he did, I wouldn't be surprised. It's too much baloney coming out of there. So, Craig Carton said he had an inside source. Who's Craig Carton? Peraza, Volpe, and Cabrera. I think Volpe's probably the only untouchable Lee Santa. I think Cabrera's expendable with Peraza or Peraza with the ice. It's just, um, I don't know. Great. So, that doesn't mean, well, it doesn't mean much to me, Bryce. I mean, it doesn't really mean much to me. Great sources he's connected. That doesn't mean who you can. There's other people that say they're connected and come up with dog shit information. So I know people here, and then they put it out, and then that turns out to be not true. So again, I'm going to, I'm waiting for Jack Curry or Jeff Passan or somebody like that. Daniel, good evening, man. So, but I get people who like to get their info from John Boy. I get it. I get it. No, that's all good, Bryce. Rather watch it than a boring NASCAR. Appreciate that, man. Giants got cold feet and now using the fail. He did fail. Their doctors flagged something on his back. The doctors found something. It's his recurring back issue too. So the doctors confirmed that too. So I don't know about the cold feet thing. So yeah, Bryce. I mean, I'll only put out breaking news if there's sources to corroborate it. So that's me. But I mean, people are entitled to do whatever they want to do. So and I get it. And John Boy has a pretty big following. So it's not to knock them. That's just the way that's the way I roll. So that's just me. They acquired Pootie Tang. He's gonna sign your Danny on a runny kind, Isai. Sarate. Do I think the Correa deal is worth it? I don't know. He's an impact player, so but some of these what do you call it? Some of these contracts now are crazy 10, 11, 12, 13 years. They're just nuts. It's where it's heading right now. So yeah, he has to get a physical. Your contract's not official until you pass a physical. And that's one of the things that make it official. So that's why the Giants were able to avoid his contract because they failed his physical. They could pay him to say that. Well, let's not assume that, Big Sexy. Man, let's not assume that. That's propaganda. So, yeah, that's a pretty heavy accusation. Unless you could back that up, man, I wouldn't be saying that. Maybe he just failed his physical. He has been on the DL before for his back. No. Press conference was joke. Yeah. It was everywhere, man. I mean, it's a great press conference for you. RC and DC, what's good, brother? What's good, baby? Hope all's well. Happy holidays. It's all only 56 days, but 56 days, but I love getting the day countdown from RC from NYC, man. I appreciate that. 56 days. It's officially 8 weeks until pitchers and catchers report. It's crazy and it's awesome, and I can't wait. Who are you talking to, Renee? He's not what? You were bad at this? What are you talking about, Renee? What are we talking about here? The Yankees tried to sign Devers next year. I mean, if he was available and they got him, I wouldn't be complaining. So I wouldn't complain. So yeah, he got booed on pole and Neil Day, and what's the other one? Was it Derek Jeter? I think he was. He got booed on both days. Yeah, it was Derek Jeter Day. So I didn't say I didn't like John Boy. They do their thing, Scott. I never said I didn't like him. I said they're not my source for the factual information. I wait for the people, the beat writers like Passan, who were constantly around them, or Jack Curry, the two most credible sources in terms of Yankee information. So they doing their thing over there, Scott. They're doing their thing. They got a big following, man, and good for them. T. Drake, he gets more money for failing a physical, does he? Really? That's an interesting one. It has been a good offseason. Yeah, appreciate that, Danny. Thank you, man. Gito said, yeah, he gave a bouquet of flowers to Judge's mom, and was it Boone? Gave a bouquet of flowers to Judge's wife. I watched it. It was good. It was good. Well, Cohen knew that what was going to cost. I mean, had it been known that he was going to play third base, he would have still paid him the same amount of money. So they already knew going in that he wasn't going to play short because they have Lindor. So I get what you're saying, but I mean unfortunately that's the cost right now. That's the cost. So Correa is at the top of the echelon, even though if he's going to play third base. Yeah, he's an elite shortstop. There's no doubt about it. There's no doubt about it. So, but it is what it is. Sign calls that. If he makes it that far, I could see the Yankees going for him. I could see them going for him. So, yeah, that was good to see G, man. And he said he's going to spend a little bit more time around this team. So, I would like to see that too. And yes, you're right about that, Big Sexy. That good trade friendship with Pittsburgh, so he can be creative and work something. I think he will. I think he knows that's the better. He's the guy to get. He is the guy to get. So, well, BJ, man, we appreciate that, man, from a Mets fan. And congratulations to you guys for getting all the guys you're getting. Verlander, Correa. You brought in a lot of playoff-tested guys, which is something you didn't have last year. So this team is better in Queens. I'll give them that. I appreciate that, Scott. Dude, I try to be accurate, man. That's it. You know, I welcome people's opinions and everything else. I mean, as long as people are cool and people can disagree and agree, and welcome to good conversation, debate, and all this type of stuff. So as long as people are cool, it's all good. But yeah, I appreciate that, Scott. I like to make it accurate. And you know, again, I don't like putting out breaking news that's not breaking news and all this stuff. So I want to make sure I'm on point what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Spencer Jones, yeah, I would be hesitant, Michael Herman, to trade Spencer Jones. I would not hesitate to trade Roderick Arias because he's like fifth in line for the shortstops. So he's blocked by a whole bunch of other shortstops, and he wouldn't make it to the team anytime soon anyway. So, and he's still young. He's like 17, so he is a work in progress. But I totally get what you're saying. So, Brett Beatty. That's a good question, Lee. I'm not sure if the Mets would do it to the Yankees. Who from the Yankees would the Mets want for him is the question. Like, I could see them trying to get Ohtani and using Brett Beatty, but he's going to cost Beatty and that catcher that they just promoted to the major league. It's going to cost a lot. But that's an interest. I didn't even think about that, Lee. That's a good. That's a good proposal. It's a good proposal, man. It's interesting, Lee. I got props to you for that, man. Beatty could play left. Beatty could play left field. I didn't know that. I don't watch much of the Mets, so if he could play left field, he's a pretty good, talented hitter. So I'd be curious to see what they would want to give up for him, like what the Mets would want from the Yankees. He's not on Arenado, but he's still pretty elite. Arenado's like the best third baseman in baseball. So, but I get what you're saying, Nick. You have a great Christmas too, Richard. Man, I appreciate that. And merry and happy to everybody in here. Whatever you celebrate, happy holidays. John Heyman, he's shown to be unreliable, well, unpredictable or unreliable, so inconsistent, I should say. So he's not the first guy I go to, but if he breaks something, I wait for Passan or Curry or someone else to break it too before, and I get to go on MLBTradeRumors.com before I even think about putting a video out on it. I wait for multiple sources to corroborate any breaking news before I put it out. It's just I'd rather be accurate with that type of stuff. I want to make sure I'm putting out accurate information for you folks. So no idea, and it's a good question. Why they changed? Well, it's Miami when they just wanted to be more, I guess. Excuse me, because they're in Miami, so that's probably why. Play for the Yankees. Brian Doyle. Excuse me. Allergies. Whoosh. Danny Doyle's brother, Brian, played for the Yankees. I remember Brian Doyle. I do remember that, Kevin Hunt. Yeah. He doesn't need to be all power, Nick, but, he hits 27 home runs. He hits between 25 and it's around 25 a year. So with good defense, and he's clutch in the playoffs. Absolutely clutch in the playoffs. So, it'll fit what the Mets need. They have their power guys. They have Pete Alonso and some of the other guys. So he'll fit in perfectly. What time is Rodon? It's 10 a.m. tomorrow Eastern time, James. 10 a.m. Carrasco, you talking about Carlos Carrasco? I don't think the Yankees are going after more pitching. And I don't think he would be there. I don't even know if he'd be there number 5, Carlos Carrasco. Yeah, I'm not sure. Merry Christmas to you, AZ, and too. Appreciate you always. Pleasure. Appreciate the donor, man. Thank you. Dude, I would love, just like you, to find Reynolds under our tree. That would be something wonderful to celebrate. Even if it happens Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, I would put out a video on it at the very least. I would not live stream on Christmas Day. My wife would strangle me. She'll still kind of kill me on Christmas Eve live streaming. So we're going to do live stream on Friday night this week and next week because of Christmas and New Year. So, and then go back to the Saturday schedule. So just to respect people's holidays and celebrations and stuff. So, Tim King and Jordans, what are you talking about? Where did I hear what? Word is the Yankees are close. So you said, J Val, are you hearing this from the same sources that are plugging this stuff today? Whether the Howard Stern or the John Boy people, or where are you hearing it from? Heyman broke Rodon to the Yankees, but I waited for it to be on MLBTradeRumors.com before and corroborated from another source before I put it out. And I even think I said that in the beginning of the movie too. Beginning of the video. Be great if they get Torres, IKF, and Donaldson in the Yankees. He's 70% of Donaldson. Acquire Cabrian Hayes. I can't see the Yankees getting him. That would be an absolute haul. No. But crazy things can happen. But we'll see. But again, Izzy, and Merry Christmas to you, brother. Appreciate it. Bubba Crosby. Yeah, we're here. Tim King. We're hearing it from the same John Boy and some other sources today all over Twitter. But there's nothing's being corroborated. So John Boy apparently has a source on the inside or whatever, and so we'll see if it turns into something. I would personally wait until they're actually closing in on a trade or finalizing it. And I would personally wait for Jack Curry or Passan or someone like that, Jeff Passan, to put it out before I even consider it credible. Chicken pond, baby. Isaac, that's what we're trying to find out. He may come, but I haven't heard any credible sources saying that it's close to happening. So, yeah, exactly, Mark. If Jack Curry is telling you that we know it's either happening or happened or whatever. So, and I have the MLB network on right now. That's why I keep looking this way, because if something pops up right now, I'm going to report it to you, because I want to, I would love us to be able to put breaking news out. Brian Doyle, yeah, baby. Ryan, that's right, man. I knew I remembered Brian Doyle. Who else we got here? What's good, Jefferson Montenegro? What is good, baby? Papa Crosby, yeah, Cashman. Still popular. We got 136 likes here, man. Can we get to 200 likes, gang? Can we get it? Oh, Brian Hayes and O'Neal Cruz, both of them, star in the making. Both of them. That's the whole left side of the infield for the next decade, probably. So, very unlikely that the big news is Trout. They just brought in Hunter Renfroe. They just signed, who did they sign yesterday? Brandon Drury. They're adding to that team, trying to make it possible to keep Ohtani and Trout. But I don't know. Joey, what moves I think are going to happen next? A trade for a left fielder. And I'm hoping it's Brian Reynolds. MLB Network would be a dream job. It would be kind of awesome, especially if I could do it from home. Anthony, I appreciate it. I mean, Mancini is a possibility too. He can play multiple positions, but he's not an He's not an upgrade from Brian Reynolds. Carton on the fan was talking about it, which means there is some truth to it. We'll see, Mark. We will see. Eduardo Escobar for the Yankees third base. Maybe, but they have to figure out how to unload Josh Donaldson. Well, the good thing about the Angels, Drury can play the outfield, he can play the infield, so his positional versatility will come in handy. And again, they got him now. They got Gio, who might play the shortstop, or have Rendon play third, but they brought in these bats and Hunter Renfroe for the outfield, so they've definitely upgraded offensively, and they brought in Tyler Anderson for the rotation. But they still have at least another starting pitcher to get this offseason. So, and I think that will be an absolute minimum for them. Kevin Hunt, thank you, man. Appreciate that. Excuse me. Carton, a radio host, has sources from the Yankees. Not even Cashman knows what he's going to do. Well, there's no source better than Cashman, because nobody knows what Cashman's going to do. So he just does it, and then we finally figure it out. Like, we learn about it later. No, I don't think he'll cost Volpe either, Talbot, but I think he will cost Dominguez. The only way I give Dominguez and Peraza is if Bednar's coming back. I think they can get him, but they don't need Bednar. I mean, they don't need Peraza for shortstop. They have O'Neal Cruz, so at least my opinion. Gio had 282 last season. Could have used him as. Yeah, you're right about that, Shamir. You're not wrong. You are not wrong. So, and again, where are you hearing this from is not expected. That's a Howard Stern-ish treat, Jefferson. So, are you referring to that same Howard Stern? I don't know why anybody would find a Howard Stern tweet for baseball. Serious, but there's no way in the world I would trade Volpe and keep Dominguez. Jefferson, at least me, there's no way. It would be crazy. Schmidt and Peraza go to plus other prospects as well. I mean, I wouldn't trade Peraza. I mean, if I was going to trade one of those three, it has to be Dominguez. But that's just me. Well, so, Anthony, have a great night, my man. Arias will probably cost less. So there's other options there, but I don't even know if he's available. Could the big move be Manny and Tatis? Never in a million years could be mobile. I mean, Manny is apparently going to opt out after the season, so I would just wait for that. I don't think the Yankees are going to take Tatis. You're not going to get him for anything. You have to give up Volpe for Tatis. I can't. And Volpe, yeah. I mean, he would play their second base. They have, shortstop in Xander Bogaerts that they just gave 11 years to. Manny would stay at third if it was only Tatis, but And Manny and Tatis would be crazy. Like Donaldson, you'd have to give a boatload of prospects, and the Yankees would want to eat a bunch of contracts, but would want them to eat a bunch of contracts. But I can't see that happening in a million years. That would be crazy, Kimmo. I mean, it really would be absolutely insane. Like, but again, even Tatis he has to serve like another 40 or 50 game suspension this year, and I can't see it happening. But again, Gimmo, crazy things have happened, right? Especially in Yankee land. Dominguez plus pitching prospects, that would be more representative. Tyler. If Volpe comes up and plays well right away, I would lock him up. Just like I would if Peraza continues to play well, I would lock him up. I would lock those two guys up. Get them locked up now. So, Billy Branch, what's up? You know I'm going to be on, baby. Had to listen to the car while getting out with the fan. I hear you, brother. All signs are leading this direction, Billy. But again, we have to find more credible teeth because we're getting a lot of this stuff that the Yankees are close to Reynolds, but not hearing it from any of the people that are reliable sources. So we'll see. We'll see. But you know I'm going to keep you posted one way or another. But imagine if Yankees surprised with something totally unexpected. We've been around. What do you think that would be, Billy? Big sexy Yankee. What do you think it would be? I mean, it could happen. You're right. It could happen. What are you thinking right there? What's going on in that brain there? I would agree. Volpe's going to be a second baseman in the major leagues. I would agree. Very ballsy, Lapari. Very ballsy. Risky too, but ballsy. And shrewd, man. I mean, he's a businessman, right? So, Yankees need a power. Well, they need a good contact hitting Whiskey Tango left bat who just happens to show some power. Like Brian Reynolds has some power, 27 home runs. Dalton Varsho, good contact, has some power too. So you just need a good contact hitter who sets things up. Like, I mean, Devers would be crazy. I can't see Boston trading Devers to the Yankees, but you never know. Yeah, Tim King. Excuse me. Excuse me, I got a head cold with allergies. Dominguez will, yeah, I mean, he's essentially going to be the guy replacing Brian Reynolds, Tim King, right? So I could see him. Yeah, they don't need. I think they'll probably get an infielder, but I would move Trey Sweeney. I mean, I like Trey Sweeney, but I would move those guys. They've already brought in a couple of first basemen, so it would have to be someone who can play second. I can't see Gleyber Torres unless they eat some of his money because he makes more money than Brian Reynolds does in arbitration. So that's going to be. It's going to be an interesting trade package if this actually happens to see what they give up. And Cashman's notoriously stingy, so I think it'll be favorable to both sides. If he's a free agent, yeah, fair game, no doubt about it. No doubt about it, Tyler. Get people, yeah. I mean, Isaac, I'll say this: if I'm going to give up Dominguez and Peraza, I would want to try to get David Bednar back in return. Then that makes trading those two guys worth it. At that point, you can play Oswaldo Cabrera at short. You might have to include Oswaldo Cabrera in this trade because he plays infield and the outfield, so his versatility would come in handy. Look at this: the Mets payroll $384.3 million. The Yankees are second with $290. Oh, baby. Yeah. The porn trolls are back, baby. We get the porn trolls. They love us. Charlie Blackmon. Excuse me. That's not better than Reynolds, though. Big Sexy. There's no way he's better than Reynolds. It's intriguing. I would have liked Charlie Blackmon like 5 or 6 years ago, but he's older now. And if I'm going to choose between him and Reynolds, it's going to be all day Reynolds. He's a decent lefty contact hitter, yes. Big Sexy, I'll give you that. He is. The porn trolls love us, man. They really do. Man, we're doing something right, man. Yeah, Billy. Don't you kind of miss them? I kind of miss the porn trolls. We have to block a lot of them, but yeah. I mean, every now and then it's nice to see Somebody selling penis enlargement pills or boobs or whatever on the channel. It's nice. Instead of the political trolls and all that baloney, I'd rather take the porn trolls all day. Lee, dude, I can't agree. I mean, can't agree with you more. I've said this. I mean, Detroit seems like a logical fit for him to try to trade for Gregory Soto, their lefty closer. It just makes too much sense. Him to Detroit, and he's good friends with Javi Baez. They need a second baseman. The Yankees need a lefty reliever because they DFA'd Lucas Licky today. So they only have one lefty in the bullpen and need one more. That to me, I mean, would be good. If we trade Peraza for Reynolds, I'm trying to trade for Jack. Oh God, Chisholm's going to cost Volpe, Tyler. He's going to cost Volpe. We can block them. They haven't really shown up that much. I generally do Lipari when they come around, but we used to get them like 100 times a live stream. I had to block like 50 of them. Like it would be crazy. That would be a shocker, Big Sexy. I mean, honestly, a Devers trade would be a shocker. Yeah. Do you think about Tony Kemp as a possible utility type? It depends on what they do for. I mean, if they keep Oswaldo Cabrera, then it makes Tony Kemp unnecessary. But Tony Kemp's a guy I would consider too, Kyle. He's a decent player. He's got some speed, and he's got good positional defensive acumen. So yeah, I would definitely consider him. Torres, Hicks, and Dominguez for Reynolds. It's going to cost more than prospects than anything. I don't know if Pirates have one of the lowest payrolls, so I don't know if they're going to eat more than maybe sending out. I'm not sure. They might have pinstripe dildos. You might be right about that, D-Run. You might be right, bro. Yeah, I mean, if they were crazy enough to take that trade, T. Drake, I mean, I would jump for joy. It's going to cost more prospects because they're a rebuilding team. Torres fits quite a few teams. Tigers seem to me the best fit for me. I don't know if he fits the Diamondbacks though, because they have Ketel Marte playing. Playing second base, I think. So it'd be harder for him to fit there. White Sox, yeah. Cubs, yeah. Brewers, Marlins, yeah. I mean, I just think Gregory Soto is like the best fit for him. For the Yankees, that represents a Yankees need. A lefty reliever with controllable years. Ooh. IKF and Donaldson for Machado. Yeah. Sure, now you're getting crazy, bro. See, Higgie's another one. He can represent the backup, but I think they might move him as part of a bigger trade. I could see that. Sean, always a pleasure, bro. Always a pleasure coming on. Happy holidays if I don't see you, man. Yeah, maybe the Red Sox will trade Devers for the next Jeter Downs who just got released. Yeah, maybe. Give him up. Yeah, I'd be curious. I mean, I know he got DFA'd. If he got released, somebody will pick him up pretty quickly. Because then they won't have to give up anything else for him. O'Neill and Reynolds, all Yankees. Hell no. Junior, you're crazy, man. Oh, boy. Speaking, man. So they're $60 million apart, D-Rod. Devers asked for $300, and they offered him $240. So it would be interesting to see. Now that they've lost Xander Bogaerts, it makes sense for them to go up and give this kid his $300. He's young, and they lose him, man. They're going to be rioting in the streets in Boston. Unless you can get a haul for him in a trade. They had to let Bogaerts walk, man. He opted out, so they'll get a pick for him, but a pick is not going to be better than Xander Bogaerts. Like a pick is not going to be better than Devers. Anybody sign a free agent? Anybody can sign a free agent, but how many can get rid of it? Exactly, Lee. Exactly. And they're having trouble finding takers for either one of them right now. Like I said, this will be more of a end of off-season thing where there's nobody else available, and teams are like, you know what? Shit. All right, let me just see what I can get for Hicks. Like, how much would the Yankees would be willing to give up? How much contract would they eat? How much? What kind of prospects would they give up to make Hicks? Because Hicks has some value, as does Donaldson, mostly defensively. So they would have to eat a ton. Yeah, dude, Cedric Mullins would be fantastic. I don't know if the Orioles would trade him within the division. So, all right, Anthony, welcome, Cat, man. Welcome, Cat. Welcome to your cat, Lapari. Yeah, I mean, Cedric Mullins is an interesting player, man. He'd be an attractive player. All right, what do we got here? Hayden, what do I think of this trade? Get Hill, Schmidt, Davey Garcia, Dominguez for Reynolds. I mean, if you don't have to give up Peraza, yeah, I would do that, Hayden. I would do that. I mean, with the exception of him slapping and strangling some of his teammates, D-Rod, maybe Fam's a fit. I don't know if he would be doing that for the Yankees, but smacking around his teammates, that would be kind of crazy. But yeah, no Gary Sanchez back to New York now. No, sir. But most likely they are stuck, Michael. I would agree with you. They're most likely they're stuck until Donaldson comes off the books next year. They'll eat the buyout for 2024. It's only $5 million, and then they're going to save $20 million next year. So where does Sanchez go? Watch out! I could see him going to the Marlins, or maybe the Colorado Rockies. Maybe the Rockies. Yeah, Hicks has 3 years and $10 million per left. So the Yankees ate half of it. They would save $15 million or save $5 per year. I think they could find a taker for that. I see Higgy. If they can't trade him, he'll get DFA'd and then released. Well, the Mets have definitely had the most voluminous offseason. They have the biggest moves. They definitely won the offseason on paper, but on paper doesn't mean much. They got to perform and stay healthy. So, but they've had a huge offseason, Vinny. Huge. Oh yeah, that's a good point too, Raven. Going to the Cubs to replace Wilson Contreras. Yeah, I can see that now too. That's the thing, Lee. I don't see Volpe going anywhere. They passed up on 8 all-star shortstop just for Anthony Volpe, so I can't see him being traded. Again, they did try to move him last year for Juan Soto and Shohei Ohtani. Both teams said no, and those are pretty much the only 2 guys that they were moving for. So, yeah, Max sacrifice after the game club nights for Correa. Yes, they did, T-Trick. Dude, that's a big move for Correa, man. I mean, hopefully he stays healthy. So, well, exactly, Billy. You got to stay healthy. You got to perform on him. And the Yankees. I mean, the Mets did bring in more difference makers. Like they didn't have Verlander. He's playoff tested and successful. Now they have Correa, playoff tested and successful. So the guys they brought in this year were more difference makers. So that might make a difference. But we'll see. Do I think Soto resigns with the Padres? I don't know. It's too young. I mean, it's too early. So he's got 2 seasons left. My guess is he's going to test free agency. They're going to try to extend him, but he's going to get half $500 million. He's only going to be like 25 when he's a free agent, so 26. I don't see it happening, Tarek Reviewer. I can't see it happening. It would be nice, but I couldn't see it happening. Yes, I would extend Bader too. And I do think Montez will be better. He'll be healthy, so. Well, Volpe is the number 1 prospect in baseball now, Whiskey Tango. The number 1 prospect in all of Major League Baseball. And he has been a godsend for the Yankees, the way he's progressed and the way he's carried himself. They really like him. And everybody asked for Volpe, so. Is Devers a Boris guy? That's a good question. I don't know. It's a good question. Passan what? Esai. What did Jeff Passan report? Did he just report something here? I'm looking here. There's something. I just saw McCann to the Orioles, but I'm going to go to Jeff Passan's Twitter here. Oh, yeah. Catcher James McCann has been traded from the Mets to the Baltimore Orioles. All right, that's a little bit of breaking news here. The Mets traded that catcher. Now they have Omar Narvaez. Trade him to the Orioles. So uh, the details of the trade have not been posted yet, but thank you for breaking it. Appreciate that. Appreciate that, guys. Breaking it. Yep, James McCann, not a huge trade, but traded to the Orioles. He'll probably have a bigger impact on the Orioles than he did with the Mets. So, but he'll be Adley Rushman's backup, clearly. Do you think we could trade Stanton apart? I don't think a chance in the world, Anthony. I don't think so. I don't think they would. Nah, I can't see it happening. But like I said before, crazy things have happened, but I just don't see that one. Doesn't really work. Doesn't benefit the Angels as much as we think. So, you know what I mean? Reynolds is going to cost a ton, Jimmy, unfortunately. So, bad contract. Donaldson and Hicks for Christian. Oof. Yeah, that's a nightmare contract. Yelich is owned. He's owed $175 million, 3 times the amount of what these guys are owed together. That's a lot. The Yankees would even consider that. They need them to eat contract. You got to eat some of that money, and you got to throw in Devin Williams. It's the only way I would do it. With that trade, the Mets they brought him up last year, but only for a cup of coffee. But yeah, I mean, my guess is he's going to be platooning with Omar Narvaez for catcher. So, yeah, Stanton isn't. He's still getting 30+ home runs, even if he misses games. 30+ home runs, and his contract is. Yeah, I mean, the Marlins still eat a chunk of his contract, so every year, which is crazy. But Donaldson and Hicks for a night with me. Oh boy, Isai. Talking about Morokovitz. You're crazy. And I think a lot of people would probably do that. So, yeah, Jeff Passan Price, James McCann to the Orioles. We don't know the details of the trade yet. By the way, I'm going to wrap it up shortly just so to let you guys go. Let's see here. Let's see if it's been updated on MLB trade. Yeah, here we go. Orioles to acquire James McCann. From the Mets, Jeff Passan. The details haven't been put out yet, but it's broken now. So Cohen just clearing some payroll, and he brought in Omar Narvaez the other day, so it became excess. Like he had to get rid of McCann just to cut payroll. He's gonna have to move on from Eduardo Escobar because they brought Correa in now, so he's gonna make some more trades. Hey, Arco H, what's up? Thank you for subscribing. Live in St. Louis, but grew up in the tri-state, thinking of the Yanks, but no, don't land Reynolds, but they'll get Conforto for you and sneak into the Majalis previously. You might. I mean, we'd love to get Reynolds, but if they didn't, I mean, they might go for Conforto. They might trade for one of the Arizona outfielders. Machado opts out, they may opt in. They may go after him as well, but if Devers is available, they may go for Devers as well. But appreciate that, man. Welcome to the channel, Arco. Corey, yes, appreciate that, man. Hey, Australia's in the house. All right, down under, baby. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. So welcome. Yes, I appreciate that, man. Die for player to be named later. Yeah. Yeah, we've heard them all things Yankees, but there's nothing credible right now in it. So none of it's credible. Big sexy, it should be amazing for us. The Cardinals don't. Yeah, I mean, Dylan Carlson's intriguing. I'm sure that they're looking into that too. Cashman looks into this stuff, and we never know. But yeah, Big say that's another guy that should be looked at too. Yeah, James McCann over to the Orioles. Who's doing the Yankees radio, bro? You got Kay, you got Sterling, and some other folks. I don't know how legit it is, but I heard Trout wants me to trade to the Yankees. Where'd you hear that, Raven? Heard it from who? I'm curious to know that one. Yeah, if anybody hasn't hit that like button, please do so. We're trying to get over 200 likes if we can before I end the live stream. I'm going to end it shortly. Keep Stanton healthy was good for, yeah, exactly, Chicken Farm. Stanton's good for 30 to 40 home runs every year. So, and I mean, he's got 6 years left, I think, 5 or 6 years left. So, no, 5 years and an option for the 6th year, and he's got almost 400 home runs. So I think to hit 500 here with the Yankees be kind of cool. Yeah, McCann, we're hearing it now. We're hearing it now. No. Yeah, Jonathan, we're hearing it. No, I hear you, Shamir. I mean, yeah, look, it's solid, but 175 million is left, and unless they eat some of it, it's the only way. It's the only way I could see him becoming a. The only way I could see it. What is this, Iron Hawaiian? What is that? Raven Poe, where can I send the screenshot to? Just take a photo of him and put it in the comments. Raven Poe. Or cut and paste it, or copy and paste the words or whatever, and we'll put it up here. Yeah, player to be named later for James McCann. Yeah. If Trout magically becomes a Yankee, would I put Bader left? No, I put Trout in left. Yelich's back is killing him, so I hear. Yeah. I avoid Yelich. I think it's too dangerous and too expensive. So that's just my opinion, but we'll see. Jake McCarthy's he's a working project, a young but I would, if I'm going to go for somebody from the Diamondbacks, it'll be Dalton Varsho. We need a more advanced hitter, and Dalton Varsho has the more advanced bat of all those guys. And our offense failed us last year, so we need somebody who has a more advanced bat. So McCarthy, again, years of control is nice, but I appreciate that, Ryan Hawaiian. Thank you. Thank you, Ryan Hawaiian. Yeah, he committed over $800 million in expenditures already, Steve Cohen. It's crazy. Offense will be up, and again, getting guys. I mean, and this is why I would put like a guy. If we got Brent Reynolds, I would lead him off, and then DJ second and Judge third, because it would make it harder to pitch around guys, and they wouldn't be able to take advantage of the shift anymore. So I would want a more balanced Yankee lineup. So 226, 170 likes. Yeah, can we get 30 more likes, Ken, to 200, if you don't mind? Can we get to 30 more likes? Varsho would be a plan B. I'm hearing Alec Thomas, but again, it doesn't always translate. 300 in the minors doesn't always translate up to the majors. Varsho's made adjustments to his swing, and he's showing that he can hit at a good level at the major league. So that's Varsho. He's a more advanced bat at this point, and our offense failed us this offseason. So Eddie Rizzo, I would have taken him 2 years ago, but I'm not sure now. We need an upgrade. We need somebody better in left field. I mean, we heard that too. Ian Happ, but I don't know. We need somebody with control, because otherwise they're going to have to do this thing all over again next year, search for a left fielder again. Yeah, all things. I think they're going to figure out a way to pass him. So these nuts to the Tampa Bay Rays. So yeah, the Mets don't really need anything, honestly, at least in my opinion. Yeah. Well, yeah, the Mets need everybody to stay healthy. That's just true, Billy. That's a good point. Yeah, these nuts is a potential superstar. So, yeah, let's nothing. Just James McCann. They'll make a few more trades, the Mets, to clear some payroll. Did I see the Jets lose to the Lions? Unfortunately, I only saw a portion of it. But they play tomorrow, Thursday night. So we'll see. We will see. But yeah, and that was a winnable game. They should have won that game, T. Drake. Yeah, they have enough power, guys. They've got Pete Alonso. They've got other guys. Man, Correa's going to hit 25, 30 home runs. That's enough. There's not many guys in baseball hit 40 or 50. Hardly anybody. So if the Mets got Hendricks, I mean, they'd be good. Yeah, I think we're top 3 rotation in baseball. All things. Top 3 at least. So Ozzy Albius, and that would be crazy. I don't know if he's available now. These nuts to 8 years, 600 million. That's nice, not bad. 75 million per. Escobar will be the next guy. Yeah, I think they're going to trade Escobar and Carlos Carrasco. No doubt. I could see Jones profiling at a third baseman. I could see that. Yeah. Folks aren't giving the Eagles respect. No, I think the Eagles are going to be in the Super Bowl. I think they're going to be in the Super Bowl, Billy. They're just too good. Too good. I would get Gregory. So they need somebody from the left-handed side, Drew. And Henderson's expensive. But they got him, you know. They got him. Can't complain, but they didn't need another lefty. Yeah. The Mets, too. Yeah. Max Scherzer has an opt-out after this year, so we'll see what happens there. But let me wrap this up, gang. Thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate you. Have a great night. And again, the live stream is going to be Friday night this week instead of Saturday night, because Saturday night's Christmas Eve. So, but I appreciate you all. Appreciate the conversation, the feedback, and anything else comes out, you know you're going to get it here. So if somebody's watching right now that's not subscribed, be sure to subscribe to the channel and just hit the notification bell. That way you know exactly when thing comes out, when videos come out, breaking news, and everything else. So have a great night, everybody. Again, peace and love to all of yous. Appreciate the generosity in your time. Go Yankees. Talk to you next time.